Alrighty guys, so we were anticipating another rerun of Maui for a mid-season, and he is officially here. Today is Friday, April 18th. I'm going to go over exactly the best route to get Maui, whether you have shards for him, whether you don't, and we're going to start with as free as possible, but we'll get into it. So if you're not familiar with Maui, Maui came a few seasons back. He is a very high top speed trickster. He's the number two trickster in the game in terms of top speed behind Ursula, and he's got very low handling. So when you go to skills, he's got a unique skill where when you tap the unique skill, he goes very fast, and then he gets a speed boost, smashes the ground. If he hits somebody, he'll regenerate this ability, which is very strong. Fun fact, when you use his normal ability, he gets a speed boost, he cracks the ground, you hit somebody, or whether you don't, you could hop 2 or 3 or 4 times and maintain top speed, so it's very strong. He's the type of racer where if you're in last place and you're able to use his ability and get it once, you could keep hitting people and literally go from last to first place because he keeps regenerating his boost, he keeps getting his speed boost, keeps regenerating his ability rather. He's very strong. With very high top speed, with low handling, you could use his charge. His charge, I believe, is the first autopilot that could get stunned. He's not invulnerable during it, but when you get his charge and you're on maps or sharp turns, you could use his charge and he'll be able to autopilot and maneuver through the track relatively smooth. So where his weaknesses comes in terms of handling, he could bypass with charge, and then his normal activation, he goes even faster than his top speed, which again is the second fastest trickster in the game besides behind Ursula, and can keep regenerating and can hop and maintain speed for a little bit. So he's a very strong racer. Let's get right into his event. So, Hero of the Wind and Sea. There's 10 objectives here, and what they really focus on is, we'll go through it, is Elizabeth Swan at level 10, Jafar and Maui at 15, Triton, Core, and Zeus at 20, Anna and Maui at 25, and then Anna and Maui at level 30. So if you see here on the right, you'll get a bunch of crew for him, and there's 5 shards you can get for him just from the objectives alone. 1 requires Anna, and then 1 requires Korra. If you have Korra, if you have Anna, you're able to complete these. You'll get 5 Maui shards right off the gate. And then when you go to the milestones here, if you get 6 out of 10, you'll get 3 of his epic. If you get 8 out of 10, you get 5 of his shards. And then if you complete everything, you'll get 5 more of his epic crew shards. So you'll be able to get 8 of his epic crew shards. They didn't give out 10 today. If you don't have Maui, you'll be able to get 5 shards from him today, because 3 of the 10 objectives are requiring Maui, and out of the 10, you'll be able to unfortunately fall short of this extra 5 here, right? So with this 8 objectives out of the 10, they're pretty much saying you need Maui in order to get these 5 shards, because if you complete every other racer besides Maui, you'll only have 7 out of 10 objectives. So the game plan is really obviously just do everyone you can. If you played this game when Maui first came a few seasons back and you have 3 shards for him, you'll be able to unlock him. If you have at least 3 shards for Maui, you'll be able to unlock him through the usage of Korra and Anna. If you don't have Maui, you'll be able to do 7 out of these 10 objectives, get 5 of his shards, get 3 of his epics, and then you're going to be 3 shards short. In which case, in shop, he has a box. So this is very interesting. He's got the 50% off 5 shards for 790 tokens, right? That you'll usually see for epic racers. The thing that's very interesting here is there's a shapeshifter box, and instead of just a straight up box for Maui, they're throwing in other racers as well. So you'll see that there's like a 30 Maui drop chance, and then an 8 and a 7 and a 5, and like what you'd expect. You also have Elizabeth Swan, Ariel, Anna, and King Triton in this box. So usually when these mid-season reruns come back, usually it's like a 34% drop rate for the actual racer shards, and it's just everything to do with that collection for that mid-season. But you're having a bunch of other racers in here, so I'm not a huge fan of this, and it's 500 tokens instead of like 450, which I think it usually is, or even 400 tokens. I pulled 2 boxes since I had the tokens, and on the second box, I actually got the 30 Maui shards. But the good thing about this is, as an epic, epics are more hard to get. The gold coloring here, he's got a 25% drop rate for his racer shards, so it's actually not bad. You have Elizabeth Swan and King Triton at 22.5, essentially. drop rate. You have Ariel and Ana at 10%, and then you have Maui at 25%, and then all the epic crews are all 2% here. So it is in your favor to get Maui shards. It is technically the highest percentage drop rate. It would be better if this box didn't have like the Ana, the Ariel, the Triton, the Elizabeth Swan involved. I don't know why they're throwing them in there. I know you need majority of these races for his event, but it would have been better if there was just a box just for strictly Maui and all his crews. But I think it's because they have very limited crew members in this collection from Moana. So there is a 25% drop rate. So my point is if you guys started and had Maui and have at least 3 shards for him, you'll be able to unlock him. If you have 3 shards from him from the first time he came around, you'll be able to unlock him through the use of Korra and Ana. If you have him, great, you could use him. It's only level 30 recommendation, the level. You could probably do it at 20, honestly, maybe 25, 20. If you don't have Maui, you'll get the 7 shards here from the Korra and the Ana, and then you'd have to pull a box in order to unlock him. Pull a box or 2 if you have the tokens, or if you want to just like have the set 790 for 5 shards, you could do that as well. Then you'll be able to unlock him, level him up, and then from there, you'll be able to get 5 more additional shards for him, and then 5 of his epic. Totaling you at a total of 8 of his epic, so you need 2 more, and if you open a box or 2, you might be able to get his mini Maui epic. So that's it, guys. Maui is back in action. Before I end this video, you guys all know I love Maui. I'm going to show you just his suits and his carts, and then we'll wrap it up. So when he first started, he had this default, and he also had this Hawk shape that you get at his champion level 31. This was different. They made it darker up top, like a season or 2 ago. And then in shop, there's his glowing in the dark, which I think is one of the coolest suits in the game. I don't really buy suits often, but this is my favorite suit, I think, in the game. Moana has something very similar. And then he has a lizard shape too, which is like more of like a green and yellow and red aesthetic as well. So those are his suits. And then when you go to his carts, he's got his general colors here. Heroic charcoal, which is probably my favorite of all of them. Then you have obviously the diamond, and then also his epic one right here as well. This is his wing. His epic wing, very cool. And then for his wheels, he's got a rare wheel. You got this guy here. Then you got his default that it comes with. And then on wheels, which I believe you get this in matchmaking. So that's Maui, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you guys already have the shards. Again, if you have 3 shards for him, you'll be able to unlock him today, or at least 3 shards. If you don't, you'll be able to get 7 shards for him. And then if you pull a box or 2, or grind up some tokens, and able to get the ×5 in the shop for 790 tokens, you'll be able to unlock him. So Maui's back. It's about time he's back. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have him, if you're unlocked him, if you fall short, I'm curious. Comments below. I'm gonna catch you guys next time. Bye.